Hello guys, Joker the Fool here, back at it again with the 117th episode of the Braxcast. I'm kind of falling behind on the upload schedule. Is going on like Monday morning, Sunday night, whatever it is. But there is a lot of stuff going on in the Rippaverse, and I don't want to fall too far behind because there are two books since I've done the last episode of Braxcast. We're going to talk about those. The first one, we'll get right into this, is Alphacore Horseman Exclave. So these are going to be both related to the Exclave event. And this is the first big crossover book with Alphacore and Horseman. And this was one of the books that was in the Walmart listings that was searched up. And of course, I think it was a whole bunch of other places. But this is the one that really caught my eye, was Alphacore and Horseman. And of course, this is being worked on by the creative team that is behind both Alphacore and Horseman, and Chuck Dixon as the writer, Joe Bennett as the penciler, Fabio Jansen as the inker, and Jay Brown as the colorist. And this will be releasing on the 24th of November, 2026. And the cutoff for the pre-orders will be on the 4th of September. And this does seem to be a pretty basic story where the Horseman and the Alphacore are going to team up during the Exclave event. Of course, that implication is kind of being made in the Alphacore ongoing series. I believe there's number 3, and I think there's another one as well, but don't quote me on that. But we'll go on through the covers. We've got cover A, which is Edu Mena with Felipe Felix doing the color work. Cover B is Raphael Antunes with Chris Hall being the colorist. Will Conrad is the cover artist for cover C, with Felipe Felix being the colorist again. And we've got Pau Rodrigues, who's the Perfect 10 artist I love so much, doing the art for cover D, with Candace Hahn doing the color work. This does seem to be the standard. They've really settled on this, the 56-page format with 4 covers. That is what they've settled on. I'm really happy with that. Makes it decently easy to collect. You don't have to have like 10 or 15 different covers like some of the other guys do. And like I said, this is done by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett, and I'm really impressed that Joe Bennett is just doing so much work. It's probably one of the reasons why we aren't going to get any more Zelen for a while, because there's 2 ongoing series, and of course, if he's going to do some stuff related to the Exclave event as well, Zelen is probably going to be put on the back burner, unless there's a Zelen Exclave book, which actually would be a really cool thing to do. But that might come out like later, might be like one of the like last things that come out in relation to the Exclave event, which getting really, really hyped for. So gotta catch up and stay on top of things, which I currently am not. But hopefully, God willing, I will get on top of that before the Exclave event comes out, or these books start releasing, because there's just so much with the Exclave event. And this next book is Salvage, Exclave number 1. So of course, Salvage Lethal Force is on its way. He was the first short story featured in the Rippazine. Everybody absolutely loved him. Of course, this is going to be written by Eric July, with Cesar Razek doing the artwork and Mark Galesko being the colorist. And this is the typical 56 pages, 4 covers. And we'll just go over the covers right now, which is cover A, which is by Gabriel Falzone and Felipe Felix doing the color work. Cover B is Edu Mena with Felipe Felix doing the color work. Cover C is Jacques Brandau with Felipe Felix doing the color work as well. And then you've got Edar Messias and Andrew Dahlhaus. So Andrew Messias is the artist and Dahlhaus is the colorist, and that is for the D cover. This book will be releasing on the 18th of, or it'll be releasing on the 8th of December of this year, 2026, with September 18th being the pre-order cut-off date for those 3 exclusive covers. And I do think both of these books have signing graded copies, which definitely cannot afford to get all of those slabs, as cool as it would be to make that happen. But really, really exciting stuff that is going on. And this does seem to be centered around the Exclave event. So like once we get all the books for this Exclave event and then we're past it, that's going to be a really exciting time. And that's going to be the next time where narratively we see the next big thing for the Rippaverse happen. I don't think we'll have another crossover event. I think it'd be very ill-advised, I guess pun somewhat intended, to just constantly go into big universe, well, I'm not sure universe breaking, but big like universe like consequential, whatever the word you want to use, events just one after another. It becomes very cheap very quickly. But narratively, the next big thing is going to happen after the Exclave event. And I think a lot of what the Rippaverse really is, since it's so tied to the comics themselves, is that as the narrative in the universe progresses, so does the Rippaverse as a company. Now, of course, that's not like a one-to-one, because a lot of these deals happen regardless of what the story is at the moment. But I do think as this universe develops and matures and there's more and more stories, there's just more and more of a maturation of the company. And this is going to be really true going into 2026, because the Hachette book deal will be well on its way. People will be able to go into Barnes & Noble or Walmart or wherever in the retail world and buy Rippaverse books. So the casual audience will be able to engage very easily. That'll be really exciting to see. And you'll still have the hardcore fans being able to go D2C, and there'll just be so much content after the end of this year. And that is the really exciting thing. Just the wealth of content that not only already exists, but is going to exist in the future. And we haven't even gotten into what the 2027 release schedule is. So it's going to be something like 100 books released between Rippaverse and Ripascend this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the next year, for Rippaverse books alone, there's like 150 to 200 with like the rate that they're going. And I am very excited to at least make an attempt to cover all of it. It might get too much where I might not be able to, but hopefully I can, because I love doing this. Very, very invested in this universe, and just so much stuff going on. I got a whole bunch of books on the back burner, a couple books on the back burner to review. So hopefully get all those reviews out. But until then, I'm going to keep up with the Braxcast. So subscribe and just follow Velvet Room Publishing, because I'm going to be covering the Rippaverse for as long as I can, as much as I can, with how crazy things are getting. But that's everything I have for this episode right now. If you guys enjoyed it, Joker is out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Braxcast. Be sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe to keep up with the Rippaverse.